Everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Herd. I'm going to be covering the Shopify stock split, and we're going to kind of determine, is it a buy? Should we grab some shares? The stock split is going to be happening right now as the time of the video. So if you don't have shares, you can always buy a stock. And that's the thing. Like, if you don't know what a stock split is, Shopify is going for a 10-to-1 stock split. So that means if you have one share of Shopify stock, then you will have 10 after the stock split. Or if you want, you could always buy 10 after the stock split. Same exact thing. They're going to give you an equal value in terms of a dollar amount. You're not going to make any more money or lose any more money on the stock split, pending if, obviously the market's going to go up or down. But they're going to give you the same value, but they're going to give you more shares of stock if you're a holder of stock. Now, Shopify announced on April 11th that they're going to be having a stock split. If we look at the chart here on April 11th, let's go back in here. I mean, this thing has already cratered from a high back in November 2021 of 1762 to, at the time, it was like what, April 11th was right here. It was around 620 a share. So 620. So it's already down over 50-60% that they announced a stock split. And since then, this stock has not gone up. It's gone basically straight down for the most part. They did have a little bit of earnings run up, but then a major gap down on earnings, which is kind of what I wanted to show you here. Is if you look at their earnings, pull this up here. We have Shopify earnings right in here. So they missed on EPS, they missed on revenue. I mean, this whole thing is a disaster right now. And the thing is, the interesting thing is, so this is Q1 2022, right? So going into this year, so that's just Q1. We have a long year ahead of us here. I mean, this is Q1. We're going to see what Q2 reports here. Q2, I don't think it's going to be any better since we're having, retailers and inflation and a lot less spending. If we go into the full, let's go to the full chart here over the last 5 years. We'll go to the maximum that you can go, right? Let's go to the maximum available. And, this stock has basically been going from about 25 up to 1,700, which, I mean, this is still up big. Even from $25 a share, $15 a share, I mean, at 350, this is a win if you held it over the past 5-6 years. And it really started to go basically ballistic during the pandemic when we had the meme frenzy, and then they had like these growth stocks. You had, Amazon ripping, Shopify was ripping because it was one of those internet retailer, growth stocks, hype stocks. But this kind of goes to show you how big of a bubble we were in due to the stimulus printing and people really trying to participate and getting in on this bull run. And if you made money during this, congrats. But if you're still holding, we are in big trouble right now. I mean, this is right now, it is testing right here the 2020 lows, which was about 315. It's trading at 350 pre-split right now. It did hit a low of 295? What was it? 303, somewhere around there. We'll call it 300. So it bounced off 300, and this did have an epic run pre-split. I mean, this ran from basically 300 up to 395. I think let's get the right price. Yeah, it went from 395. I mean, this thing has been ripping all week, and then today, was a disaster. Started to give it all back. But if you kind of look at like what did Amazon do prior to the split, and I have another video that I did about Amazon pre-split where Amazon has done stock splits before. Shopify has not done a stock split before, but Amazon basically, as another e-commerce stock like Shopify. I mean, Shopify and Amazon are always compared, I feel. So it's very comparable. Again, this one, I mean, if you look at, Amazon, this one split on June 6th, had a pre-run up just like Shopify and has struggled to maintain or actually go up since the stock split. I mean, this thing has been getting hammered all year. And if you it broke down away from this consolidation. I mean, it had 2020 again ripped up all 2021. It was stagnant all of 2021, and then pre-split. And this is what I pointed out in prior stock splits for Amazon. It always had this pre-run up. It would then after the stock split bounced, what it did, and then it gets demolished. It gets absolutely demolished. So for me, I am not going to be buying the Shopify stock split. I gotta wait till more data comes out, till inflation starts to go down. Consumer spending is probably starting to tighten due to inflation, gas prices, rent prices, mortgage payments. I mean, the money is going for the consumer out the window, and they have less buying power than they had 6 months to a year ago due to inflation. So, looking at the chart here, I mean, once it breaks like the 300 area and it breaks good, I mean, the next stop could be like 275. I mean, it's going to look enticing after the stock split, but I think we still have to wait this one out, because people are still, I mean, they're not spending any money, and the money that they are spending is on necessities, and it's not going to be on websites or Shopify or anything like that. I mean, ads. A lot of the stocks that were running ads on Facebook, turnkey Shopify stores are not going to be making as much money, or they're not going to be as profitable as consumer spending goes down. So I think this next quarter is going to be interesting, that you don't have to rush in and buy like the stock. You don't ever have to rush in and be like, I need to get in on this opportunity, because I mean, if you let's look at Google. Google has a stock split coming up, and when they announced, I mean, this thing, after they announced, has been going straight down as well. We've getting no bounce. A lot of people were going back into last couple of years when the market was hot. When the market was hot. Right now, these companies are doing stock splits when the market is terrible. We're having the worst start to a year ever. We're basically at the halfway mark, and we're having the worst start ever. But they're all thinking back, like when Tesla had their other stock split. Let's pull up Tesla real quick. When Tesla had their stock split back in, when was this? Let's pull it up here. 2020, they announced a stock split. I mean, this thing went from, basically this is kind of after the stock split. I mean, it went from 100 up to 500. They had a 5-to-1 stock split, and Tesla has another stock split on the way, and this went bonkers after. However, if you look at this is when stocks really started to get crazy, was at the end of 2020 into 2021, and this is what they were trying to replicate. Where this is the stock split right here, they were trying to replicate a run like this. What they're not accounting for, investors right now are not accounting for, a lot of people that have bought, these runs are done. These runs are done. Like, going to Shopify, sorry. This is the same exact thing, no stock split. It just so happened Tesla timed the stock split with the epic bull run that we had in this huge asset bubble that we are currently in. So I'm not going to get trapped. We could be slow to buy stocks right now. Just take it easy. This is not investment advice. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's us for a cert.